Well, I grew up in West Plains, Missouri, down south in Missouri near the Arkansas line. Lived there until I went to college. I went to college at University of Missouri at Rolla, which they renamed several years ago to Missouri University of Science and Technology, and met my wife there. She grew up in Omaha, which is how I kind of ended up in this part of the world. And I worked for Black & Veatch for a couple years in Kansas City, and my wife was at Burns & McDonnell. She's an engineer as well. Here we have 5 children. Oldest is 20, youngest is 8. So we're a very busy family. I'm an electrical engineer, and usually you don't see electrical engineers and people that have a software background at a DOT in this kind of capacity anyway. I started out at Black & Veatch doing power plant automation and hydroelectric plant automation and writing software and doing things like that. And I was actually one of the charter members of the ITS Heartland group that formed back in 2000, realizing that an automation background, when you're writing software, you're doing communications work, all of those things are the same types of skills that you need to get into ITS. And actually participated in some of the Nebraska DOR's at the time first camera project, where we deployed cameras along I-80 and built the towers, put in the wireless communications infrastructure to support that. As time goes on, you get into the higher level planning for ITS and communications, and the more DOT work that I did for Nebraska as well as for Iowa, Oklahoma, Kansas, a lot of Colorado, a lot of other DOTs that I've worked with, I realized that really is the direction that I wanted to take my career. I'm driven by a desire to see freight and the traveling public get the information that they need to make good decisions about, should I be driving on this road today? Is this a good idea? Generally, people are going to make their own decisions about whether they want to travel, but you need to give them as much information as is humanly possible to give them so they can make a good decision. I also feel like everything is about the people that are involved. I think that's true within the DOT internally, that's true about the public. That's our mandate as the DOT, to help them make a good decision, not just to build the road that they drive on and to plow the road, which are important functions, but to help them have enough information to decide if they should drive on the road or not. That's a component of that. On the wall outside my office here, there's a list of all the directors of this organization going back to the late 1800s. And if you look at those roles, there's a name underneath there, there's a year that person served, and underneath that there's the name of the department. And it's the Department of Transportation. Before that it was Department of Roads. Before that it was Department of Roads and Irrigation. Before that it was just Department of Irrigation. So if you look at the evolution of the department over that period of time, it's already changing with technology. DOTs need to be incorporating technology and technological ideas into everything that we do, and I feel like that's why I'm here, to help move Nebraska DOT into that technological world. Not that the DOT hasn't been there, but what I really want to see is Nebraska DOT be the first state to implement some things. We have a lot of roadway to try it on, and we have urban areas, we have rural areas, we have every possible combination of rural, urban, high traffic, low traffic. There's a lot of good opportunities for us to try new things. One of the biggest impacts that I would like to personally have is just bringing a level of excitement about technology. There's quite a bit of excitement within the department. There's certainly excitement within the public for technology and the impact that it can have on traveling. I would like to see that my role is to kind of be the cheerleader for that excitement, to say, let's get out there, let's figure out some cool stuff that we can do, let's look at what other states are doing. I feel like what people can expect from me is ideas, and I'm hoping that those ideas are things that are practical and doable, but I also want to try to push the envelope a little bit and come up with ideas that are implementable and then see those ideas get implemented. I think there's going to be a great deal of pilot testing that happens in technology in the next 10 years as we're looking at automated vehicles hitting the road in Nebraska for the first time, as we're looking at building fiber optic networks, getting broadband into rural areas, getting communication into rural areas so that those cars can be connected to our communication network. I would like to see some of those ideas get implemented in the next 10 years.